Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah.
Wa alaikum salam. I've accepted Islam, right? I've converted over to Islam.
How did it lead up to that? So you actually made that decision back in 2021, right?
Yeah. It was October of 2021 where I officially walked into a mosque for the first time, and I officially said the deen and was accepted.
Share that with me now. Share that experience. First time walking in a mosque, because I'm trying to get, the whole world to come and connect, because we got so many misconceptions, stereotypes, and, there's this false fear that's created. But how was that experience life, and what led you again to make that even decision to go ahead and step into a mosque for the first time?
Yeah, I think you said it perfect right there, that there is a misconception. And I even had that misconception, right? I can remember as a child, my aunt was always Muslim, right? She her name Veronica Muhammad, and she would take me with my cousin a few times to a few mosques, but I'm very young at this time, right? I'm 7, 8 years old. But everyone in my family, everybody in the community, everybody kind of had these stigmas around Islam and Muslims, to where I didn't take it serious. My heart was closed off because of how everyone kind of always portrayed the religion. So I want to say this all started in 2018. 2018 was the first time that I really kind of had my eyes open. And for me, fighting is a huge part of my life, right? I've been a professional for over 11 years now. And it was before my fight with Rafael dos Anjos. I was fighting a former world champion for the first time. And in the locker room of that fight, it's hard for me to explain, right? It's hard to explain some of these things if you haven't experienced it, but it was almost as if my eyes had been changed a little bit, like they had been opened. And it was strange because I didn't necessarily know what it meant, and I'm getting ready for this big fight, and I'm in the locker room, I'm getting ready to walk out, and I can remember walking with this crazy confidence. I just knew everything seemed to be in sync. Everything seemed to be coming together. I didn't necessarily know what it meant, right? I ended up losing that fight, which created a lot of confusion. Why would this happen in the locker room? And I ended up losing the fight. And I went on a crazy, and that's kind of what started this whole journey and this whole path to what does it all mean? What is I feel like Allah was speaking to me, and God was speaking to me in that night. And it took me a long time to recognize the voice and to understand it, and to come to the understanding. And I'm so used to just kind of, just buckling down and just doing what I'm used to doing, right? Just go back to fighting, go back to what you're used to doing, which is what I did in 2019, right? 2019 was a great year for me. That was the year that I fought at Madison Square Garden, and all these great things started happening, right? And then my humbleness kind of went away. I started saying, "Oh, it was me that did this. Oh, it was me." It was because I'm the man. That's why.
You start doing the chest bump, huh? Pointing to you.
Exactly. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, of course. This supposed to happen this way. I'm putting in all this hard work, so I'm doing all of this, and that's why these good things are happening. I was feeling it, and then I got smacked with a reality check in 2020. I think that's when my heart was forced kind of open. It had been closed off. But after I fought Charles Oliveira, which was a great fight, right? I felt like I was winning that fight. It was a great fight in the moment, but it just, after the fight, it was so impactful to me, and it really made me sit and search and think, and it made me, it just made me realize, like, I'm not necessarily the one that's in charge of this whole thing. You know, you have to, I almost had to let go. I had to let go and just surrender myself. And it took me almost a year before I actually accepted that and actually realized that that's what I needed to do. It wasn't until May of that year that I started looking towards Muslims, that I started kind of opening my heart up a little bit, that I started listening just a little bit more, and it just made so much more sense. And on my birthday, I had an experience where I felt like God really came to me and he told me, hey, listen, you've been a Muslim your whole life. You just haven't accepted it. You just haven't listened. You've been stuck in your own hubris. You've been stuck in your own ego for so long. My birthday's in September, and after that experience, I decided, okay, I'm actually going to open my heart and actually listen and follow through. And since then, it's been an amazing journey. Since then, I've gained more clarity each and every day. I feel like every day I put my face on the ground and I thank Allah for giving me this breath, for allowing me to step, and I'm gonna continue to just step in his shoes, and it's a very peaceful and a very fulfilling journey. For how you were saying, it's just, oh, I'm just fighting and there's no end goal, you know. There's some money to be made, yeah, sure, but I'm just fighting just to fight. Now I feel like I'm fighting for a different reason, and the fight is every day.
The greatest American hero of all time, Muhammad Ali. He was a Muslim. He was a Muslim. He was one who's following that same way of life. You said you put your face on the ground. If someone opens up the Bible and quotes, sees Jesus, and he went a little further, and he fell on his face and prayed to who himself? No, he prayed to God, just like you. You're doing the same way. How was that experience? And you see Habib doing it after his fights also. He's saying Alhamdulillah, he's praising God. We even saw John Jones saying Alhamdulillah. You know? Yeah.
Did John Jones also say it?
Yeah. He said it. Yeah, I can send you the clips.
Well, I converted. I'm not Muslim.
I'm good, sir. How you doing? Oh, man. That is so good.
So how is it now when you first made what's called sajda, when you put your face on the ground, humble yourself, you know? How was it? Malcolm X, when he did this the first time, he said things would never be the same.
When I first did it, right, and I'm gonna try to be as candid and as open as possible.
Yes, please.
When I first did it, it was so foreign, and it was such a. It took a lot, right? It took a lot for me to just kind of bow down, really, like literally, and figuratively.
That's what Malcolm was talking about. Yes.
Yeah, it took an incredible amount of I don't necessarily know the word for it, but it took a lot. And the first time that I did, I was so caught up in what do I look like? Is everybody looking at me? What is? I was so caught up in my own ego of being here still. I want to say it took me about a good 4 or 5 months before I really just now it's such a peaceful and it's such a ritualistic thing to me that I don't necessarily think about it. It just gives me peace, right? It just gives me.
Wow.
It's almost like walking, you know. I don't. After you do it for so long, you don't even think about it. It's just normal. But what's kept me on the path, and you mentioned it, I think the greatest fighters in the world, and the greatest fighters in history have always been Muslim. You talk about Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. I feel like Floyd Mayweather, even though Floyd isn't coming out publicly and saying it, he still lives his life in a lot of the same way that Muslims do.
Is there something we don't know? Did Floyd Mayweather, did you hear something? Is he come into Islam, investigating Islam? Floyd Mayweather, did he accept this?
I've heard rumblings, but you're not going to hear it direct from me. I think that's a very personal thing.
I got you.
Something that you have to ask him. But as far as living his life and living his life in the right way and praying and I think he's very much along that path. Yeah.
Have you gotten, has there been any kind of pushback? Has some from your family or others that have some kind of questions like how do you deal with that? Is it going to be challenging, or does that increase your motivation to learn more so you can answer certain questions that come about?
Yeah, exactly. I've gotten people questioning and people like kind of, you're not really like, what do you believe? Do you believe this and that? I've had like Christians trying to convert me back over. I've had people straight up tell me like, no, you're not Muslim, you're born Christian, you're Christian. And I'll look them in the face and no, I'm Muslim, I will die as Muslim. And that's why it's very interesting to me, because they'll bring up Jesus and they'll kind of teach me the lessons of Jesus. A lot of them I've heard before. A lot of them I feel like, and I don't know, maybe you can educate me here, but let me explain to you what I hear people say. A lot of people will quote the Bible, but I almost feel like I'll hear the same quote from the Bible, and people will draw two different conclusions from it. Versus when I hear people quote the Quran, I always get the same message, the exact same message from the Quran. There's no, it's not up for interpretation. That is the word of God, and they'll stick to it. Whereas people will kind of use Christianity or they'll use these other scriptures, or they'll use these other words and justify whatever actions that they're taking right now. I can do this. It's okay because the Bible says this. But then another person will do the exact opposite. I can do this. It's okay because the Bible says that. And they'll take the same words and flip them around. That's just my personal experience. From what I've seen from other religions, and like you said, I've had people come at me in all different types of ways, but it don't never persuade me, it'll never knock me off my path. I spent 30 years getting on this path, and there's nothing that can change me.
That is beautiful. It's very nice talking with you, brother. I'm so elated and excited to hear this good news straight from you. And inshallah, we'll see each other in person. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, brother.